right. Yo, it's Dave and Johnny live. I'm Dave and he's Johnny.
End of January, right? Last day of January.
Yeah, this is it. Last show of January.
First month is over, thankfully.
Yeah, it's been a long January.
You surviving the virus so far, or what?
What virus?
The coronavirus.
Well, yeah, I don't have it.
I'd be worried because it's in Canada now, no?
Well, not where we live.
I heard it's in Quebec.
Is it?
That's what I heard, yeah.
I don't think it is.
I've heard reports differently.
I've heard that it's not in Quebec, John. Okay, stop giving fake news.
I'm telling you what I heard. So get worried. Be scared.
No, we're fine. I'm not worried about this coronavirus. I think everybody's going to be okay.
There seems to be a lot of panic, I find.
You panicked?
I'm all right about it. I mean, you die. It happens. It's life. But
oh, so that's your attitude?
That's my attitude towards it, yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are, like, scared and, like, hiding from people.
Yeah. Self-imposed quarantine is never a bad idea.
You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, to live in this day and age, I guess.
Yeah. I like a self-imposed quarantine. That way I don't have to go out or do anything or see anyone. It's nice.
I suppose.
It's comforting. It's warm. Okay, John, we started this show off pretty dark. Let's talk about some pro wrestling.
Getting even darker. All right, let's do it.
No. Well, WWE did let go of some people. The CFO, they were co-presidents of the company, George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. And you've probably seen these names before, but you don't really know who they are, right?
He always comes up, George, all in the press releases all the time.
That's it. So they were the CFO and CRO, Chief Financial Officer and Chief Revenue Officers of the WWE. So this is like upper management, WWE, corporate stuff.
Top presidents.
They've been there for a very long time, and they've been let go.
Over 10 years, I think they've been there.
Yeah. And business is not doing so great with WWE these days.
Stock is down 27% today. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So you wonder what's going on. You wonder, are they not making money? Are they okay? What's happening? And it kind of leads to a bigger question for me. Is the wrestling business doing all right?
I would say, in a way, yeah, because like you have another promotion that started up, AEW, and they've been renewed for another 4 years. So I think people want to see wrestling. WWE, maybe there's a little too much WWE, and people aren't watching that as much.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the WWE. I think that they're still probably all right financially, but all this stuff, firing people, the direction of the company currently, you just wonder, are they going to be all right? In the next few years, are they going to be all right? I hope they are.
Well, the report is that apparently this was like a differences in opinions of how they should go going forward. I guess Vince differed on what they thought they should do in terms of strategy. I guess George had this idea for like a tier network kind of thing, and I don't know if that's going to happen now. And I guess there's some concern that the new earnings that are coming out for the last quarter for last year, apparently they didn't do so well. So I guess there was a number of reasons for why they decided to move on from this.
What do you think they can do to improve?
I think maybe cut down on the hours of television. I don't think we need 3 hours of Raw every week.
I think that's a money generator more than anything.
Yeah, but also like dilutes the product too.
Well, you look at what brings money to the WWE. It's TV. Big shows in Saudi Arabia.
Well, that's you can't get rid of that.
The network,
right?
And merchandise.
So what about live events?
Merchandise deals.
What about live events?
Well, live events and ticket sales are something too. And they're doing okay, but not. Like business is kind of down overall.
It's questionable because, like, you look at SmackDown, like, we were here in Montreal when they did the Raw and SmackDown taping. SmackDown, like, they had a couple of thousand at most. But apparently for the Friday SmackDowns live, they have, like, 10,000 this week. So I think it's better what they've done for SmackDown, at least.
Well, I don't know if the live attendance is really the problem. I think it's just a bigger issue, It's just the interest in WWE isn't where it could be.
So ratings, then you're saying?
Oh, ratings and general fan interest. I mean, if you have more fans, if you bring more people in, everything gets better.
Right.
They buy T-shirts, they buy tickets, they buy the network.
Right.
And right now, there are people that I know that could be WWE fans, that have been WWE fans, that aren't buying anything WWE right now because they don't like the TV shows.
Wow, really? It's because TV show they don't like? I understand.
TV shows, pay-per-views, whatever. They don't like the current product.
Okay.
And there are a lot of people out there that don't like the current product. On Wrestling Uncensored this week, we're going to talk about how there's no real top babyface on Raw. They're trying to make Drew McIntyre the top babyface on Raw. We're talking about your top show. You're looking for a top babyface to go up against your top guy, your top heel in Brock Lesnar on your biggest event of the year, WrestleMania.
Right.
And they're just trying to start from scratch and rebuild this guy, Drew McIntyre. And he's not really super over as a babyface.
Well, he was a heel, so yeah, of course he wasn't.
So I think that is a major issue. Their inability to create mega stars that people fully get behind.
Oh, yeah, that's been a problem for years. I mean, look at NXT. Like, have they really built someone up from the NXT ground up kind of thing? It's been a while.
Look at the NXT champions that come up to the main roster.
Well, they came from the indie wrestling pretty much. Like,
right.
That's kind of sad almost.
I mean, we have great guys as NXT champions. They move up to the main roster, and it's just, Neville.
He was fantastic.
Sami Zayn.
Great, too.
They
tried both Dallas.
Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, remember how over Shinsuke Nakamura was in NXT?
Oh, yeah, but a lot
Finn
of guys
Balor.
like that. Robert Roode was super over in NXT. Main roster, not so much.
Drew McIntyre wasn't super over in NXT.
He was NXT champion. He had his thing.
Yeah. But that's the guy they choose. Again, that's the guy they choose. And they wonder why business is down. And then they fire George Barrios, pal.
Well, it's Vince's way or the highway.
I think there's a lack of understanding of what's really happening.
Vince has his vision. If you're not on board with that vision, then goodbye, see you later. Vince is doing the XFL. If you don't like it, you're out.
Well, there's the XFL too, right?
It's coming up soon too, yeah.
This is not a good recipe here. XFL. There's so much programming. Seeing a DLC on the chat. He's talking about the WWE share down $14 today from $62 to $48 a share. Talking about competition. AEW is here. AEW is doing well. Like you said, they signed a contract extension with TNT. They're slowly but surely becoming another wrestling show that is having success, but I don't know if they're real competition to the WWE.
No, but I definitely say if there's another major federation, I would count them as a major federation for sure. I mean, WWE's in its own little world kind of thing, but AEW also exists, and you can't deny that. Even WWE doesn't deny it.
I don't know. I'm not optimistic of with what's happening right now with the WWE.
Well, they've been through worse. They've been through this where the XFL didn't work out too well, and they lost a lot of money. But they came back, got it all back up again. Vince was a billionaire, then wasn't a billionaire, then was a billionaire again. It's not the end of the world for them.
No, I think that they'll be fine, but I still don't see that turnaround where they make everything really good again. I think that they'll stay the course and be like, all right, but you can't just be okay forever. At a certain point, you have to be great again. Make WWE great again. You know? At a certain point, they have to really ramp things up and make it amazing. And I don't know if they can. And that's kind of the question.
I think they have a lot of people working hard to make sure that it maintains its level of consistency and then trying to make it better as well. You have guys like Shawn Michaels train the new stars of wrestling. They're trying to build something new. And I would say NXT, I mean, there's no question. Like, you watch takeovers, those are always fantastic. Mm-hmm. Nothing has changed in terms of that quality.
Yeah, they're all right.
I think they're must-sees for that.
Yeah.
It's just in terms of what you watch every week, I think some weeks are good, some weeks aren't that good. It's really hard to write, like, 9 hours of television every week, I think.
Right, but I'm not talking about just the week in, week out TV. I'm talking about the overall direction of the show and where they're going and what they do.
Oh, it's going to be really hard for that because now you're trying to build up new stars, and you're not really behind a lot of the new stars, so you're not accepting what they're trying to feed you pretty much.
Well, is anybody behind these new guys?
I think Drew McIntyre to a certain extent is. I mean, people want to give it a try at least.
Like, in 5 years, okay, there's going to be a different landscape in wrestling.
Always is.
The guys that the WWE has for 5 years down the road compared to what AEW is building for 5 years down the road, I think AEW is going to be in a much better place.
Maybe. I mean, it's too hard to tell with AEW. I mean, they've only got the extension recently, right?
In 5 years, you don't have Edge.
Right.
You don't have Undertaker.
Right.
You don't have Triple H.
Yeah, we say that, but, you know, Triple H will always be around.
You really, I mean, he's going to be like 60, okay? You really shouldn't have Triple H.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't have, you know, there's a lot of guys that you're still using now to bring in every once in a while. In 5 years, you probably don't have Brock. At 47, is Brock still wrestling?
I doubt it.
So what do you have?
Well, you might have Drew McIntyre near the end of his career, I think.
Okay, well, Drew McIntyre in 5 years will be like 39, so
right.
He'll be all right. You have Drew, you have Roman, you have Seth, you have Kevin Owens. You maybe still have Daniel Bryan, who'll be like 43. He'll be towards the end of his career.
It's tough. I was watching that video.
That's why now's the time to use Daniel Bryan and make him a top guy because, you know, in 5 years, is he still going to be wrestling?
They just released
AJ Styles. He's like in his 40s.
Oh,
in 5 years, he's gone.
No, he said after his contract, which is done, like I think in 2 or 3 years, like, yeah, it's over.
He's done.
Yeah.
So in 5 years, where is this company? And where's AEW? Kenny Omega's still there. And he's going to be in the prime. You know, Cody, same thing. Young Bucks, same thing. They're still going to be good. And then you have all these guys coming up, like their Sammy Guevara's and their Kip Sabians, who had a good match with Cody this week. MJF. I mean, Jericho will be gone, but I like what I'm seeing. You know, Joey Janela, Jungle Boy. It seems like they have more things going on for them over the next 5 years than what the WWE is really building towards the future. It seems like they're trying different things, but they're missing a lot of opportunities. They missed the boat on Cesaro numerous times. You know, like that could have been a thing. He could have been a champion. It just never happened.
It's unfortunate.
And, you know, a lot of guys, it's not going to happen. Will Kevin Owens ever get a big run on top of the WWE?
He should.
I don't think he will at this point. Like it doesn't appear that he will. A lot of these guys that you think, man, these guys could change the business if the whole machine got behind them, you know, win a Rumble and go up against Brock and, you know, get the whole machine behind them. They could really light things up. A guy like Kevin Owens.
Still can.
But are they ever going to pull the trigger on him? Like, that's the thing. They have these guys that are there, but they don't pull the trigger. And then they go with somebody else, and you're like, yeah, that guy.
This isn't the first time. Remember, we've had The Miz.
No, they constantly do it, and that's the problem with WWE. It's not that they have bad wrestlers. It's not that they have bad production. Like, everything's good. It's that it's a confusion of talent. Like, the guys that are really good are kind of in the mid level of the card, and the guys that are just not that great are pushed all the way to the top for some reason.
Well, they don't base it on like who's the best in terms of talent. They just base it on who would fit better in this situation, who has a better look kind of thing. They base it on those criteria.
It's mostly on look.
Plays a huge part,
At this point, it's mostly on look.
It's TV, so yeah. You got to have that look.
It's pro wrestling, too.
I think that plays a factor.
Darby Allin is small.
Has a great look, though.
Darby Allin is over.
Great look.
Great look.
Good worker.
But it doesn't, it's not, he doesn't have to be 6'5", 300 pounds.
Well, it's all how you market it, though. They understand that. They don't have any big guys really in AEW. Not too many anyways. But it's all how you market your stars.
Okay.
You have a guy like Jericho who always put over a guy like Darby Allin. Where Brock, like, who do you put over besides Drew McIntyre?
Who do you think is in a better spot in 5 years' time? Talent-wise, and where they're going as far as current direction.
Well, WWE is so massive. I mean, there's no question they'll still have amazing talent. There's no question about that. Just AEW, I think, will be bigger, though. I mean, they were already expanding to another TV show. I could imagine they'll probably get another TV show after that as well.
So you think in 5 years AEW is going to be bigger than the WWE?
No, but they'll be bigger than now, AEW, for sure.
Okay.
They're just going up, AEW.
You said bigger. I was like, bigger.
Not bigger than WWE. There's no way, I don't think. It would take years. Like maybe like 20 to 30 years just to come even close.
This is definitely a sign that things are not going so well when the stock is dropping. They fire 2 people that have been with the company for over a decade in top management business type positions. It's not a good sign for the WWE.
No, but
clearly something's going wrong.
It's not the end of the world. It's not like WWE is going to fold shop anytime soon.
No, but how, like, you could fall, but if you keep falling, eventually you'll hit the bottom. And the XFL isn't going to be a great success. Does anybody think the XFL is going to be a great success?
I don't know. I'd give it a shot.
I mean, I know that's Vince's money and it's separate from the WWE. It's a separate issue. It has no effect on the stock price. But, like, it's just, what is Vince doing, basically? What is happening with Vince? And how long is this going to go on for?
Well, this will go on until he's dead, pretty much. Like,
right.
This is what he loves to do. I mean, he's not going to stop doing what he loves to do. I don't blame him for that. That's fantastic what he's doing, actually.
There are certainly people in the WWE that are like, man, if only I could get my hands around this thing, get Vince out of there, we can make some changes around here. I know that there are people in the WWE that are feeling that. They must be.
Probably, but I think in the end, like, Vince knows what he's doing. He'll surround himself with the right people to make the company great. I think having Paul Heyman run the ship on Raw, I think that was a great move.
I like Raw these days. I think Raw's all right.
I mean, it's not the greatest show every week,
no,
but more often than not, it's usually okay to watch.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was, 6 months ago.
Right.
It's way better. Past 3 months has been good.
SmackDown, it's kind of hit and miss as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't like SmackDown so much.
The move to Fox wasn't great, unfortunately.
Yeah, I thought it would make the show better. It seems to have made the show worse.
You get maybe one good match a show if you're lucky.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Poor Daniel Bryan.
That video of him, that's really sad. He's kind of contemplating retirement now. That's the storyline, I think.
Oh, man.
But he's all beat up. You can't sell, fake that stuff. But
poor Daniel Bryan.
Him getting all emotional about having talk to his kid. And it's his mom doesn't want him, Daniel Bryan, talking to his kid about all the bumps that he has, all his bruises. Pretty sad, man.
Daniel Bryan's the best. He's a hero. Love that guy. He deserves more than this. He deserves better. Fans chanting, "You deserve it" to Drew McIntyre. I'm like, yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
If anybody deserves it, it's Daniel Bryan. But hey, what do I know? I've just been watching wrestling for 30 years, doing this show for 15. What do I know?
Daniel Bryan had his WrestleManias, though.
Yeah, he had one.
The ladder match was a very good moment.
Intercontinental.
It was a great moment.
Intercontinental.
Nothing wrong with that.
It could have been so much more. It could have been so much more with Daniel Bryan. It could have been so much more with CM Punk. If they could have just figured out how to do it. You know, like, Punk never had to leave. And Bryan, I mean, he got hurt. What are you going to do? But they missed it there. They had their guys. They had their future. They had their next 5 years. They had them. And they just kind of said, nah, no.
Well, no, Bryan got hurt. I mean, that.
Well, Bryan got hurt, but when he came back, I mean, now he's still.
He was WWE champion going to WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, and since then, it's been a year. He's done basically nothing for a year. He was tag team champion with Rowan for a bit.
Yeah.
That whole thing was bad.
Well, I mean, what else do you want? I mean, it was kind of like they weren't planning that, right? He was supposed to be WWE champion for quite a while, but the Kofi thing happened, so.
Yeah, so they just said, oh, well, forget you, Daniel Bryan.
They gave him something at least. They gave him tag titles at least.
And not enough for me. I'm not satisfied at all. I'm nowhere near satisfied with what they've given to Daniel Bryan. He deserves way more. Way more. A lot of guys do. Sami Zayn does.
Well, can Sami really wrestle right now? It doesn't seem like he's wrestling, so.
He wrestles.
Barely.
I've seen him wrestle.
Yeah, I know, but, like, what does he do? Like, not much.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. What's Daniel Bryan doing at WrestleMania? Nothing.
Right now, we don't know. I mean, it's still way too far to tell, I think.
I guess. All right, Johnny. Antoinette saying too many repeats of the same match.
That's true.
And she's like, Roman deserves his rematch at WrestleMania. Roman gets so much.
He lost the Rumble.
How
like he wanted.
many WrestleMania main events could you really have?
He didn't have the main event last year.
Okay. Not last year. It's like Roman, you know, he's the modern day Hulk Hogan. He's gonna get his spot. He'll probably close the show this year against The Fiend and win the title.
That or Brock, because Brock started the show last year, right? So maybe Brock.
I think Brock might win.
Maybe. It's not impossible. I'd see Drew winning, though, I think.
I don't know. 2 title changes?
Yeah, why not? Whatever. It's WrestleMania. You can change every title.
I guess.
You're starting everything fresh, so it's fine.
Yeah. But they had their guy with CM Punk, man. They had him.
That was a long time ago, CM Punk.
They had it.
Okay.
And they pissed it all away.
Well, and he left, too. I mean, he made a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because of the way that they were booking him.
Okay, yeah, he didn't like it, sure.
Yeah. And I agreed.
Fine. But they move on. Like Daniel Bryan, I think was a great step to move on with.
Yeah. And then they moved on from him. All right, coming up this week, there's going to be some pro wrestling in Japan I want to tell you about quickly. There is New Beginning in Sapporo coming up on Saturday. That's going to be Shingo Takagi in the main event challenging Hiroki Goto for the Never Openweight Championship. And then on Sunday, the main event for that show will be another New Beginning in Sapporo. It'll be Will Ospreay challenging Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Heavyweight Championship, and Kazuchika Okada taking on Taichi 1-on-1. They're doing a bit of a tour next week. New Japan, February the 4th on Tuesday. A big 8-man tag. It'll be Okada, Ospreay, Sho, and Yo of Roppongi 3K taking on Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. That is a 8-man elimination tag team match. And then it all ends next Sunday, the 9th of February. It'll be Tetsuya Naito versus Kenta. Kenta challenging Naito in the first double defense of the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships that Naito won at Wrestle Kingdom. So Naito, he won that big thing on January 4th and 5th. He won both belts. So now he's making his first title defense. That'll be next Sunday. We'll preview that whole card next week on Dave and Johnny Live. But just to give you a little teaser, it'll be Naito versus Kenta next Sunday for the IWGP Heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title. Kenta, of course, used to be Hideo Itami in NXT.
Yeah, I know it's his first defense, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kenta won this, though. Because remember, when his first defense, he lost very quickly to Okada. Naito.
No, I think Naito's going to win.
Okay.
As far as Goto and Takagi, I could see Takagi winning here tomorrow. Tomohiro Ishii taking on Evil in the co-main event. That's going to be a hell of a match. Two hard hitters there. Two of the greatest representation of strong style. Whoa, I didn't know this was happening.
Huh.
A special tag team match taking place on Saturday. Minoru Suzuki and Taichi versus Kazuchika Okada and Jon Moxley.
It's not the main event? That's crazy.
Damn, that's a hell of a tag team match, playa.
It's a hell of a match, just middle of the card kind of match.
You get Suzuki and Moxley in there. That's going to be sick.
Oh, Okada, too.
Okada, yeah.
It's huge.
Okada and Moxley are teaming up this weekend.
Wow. It's big.
It's huge. It's gigantic. It's amazing. Wow, New Japan's doing it big this weekend. I like it. They've got Naito and Sanada taking on Jay White and Kenta in a tag team match. Ryu Lee and Robbie Eagles against Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi. That's going to be amazing. I love Hiromu. Zack Sabre Jr., El Desperado, and Kanemaru, and Doki. Oh, Doki's back. Taking on Will Ospreay, Sho Yo, and Ryusuke Taguchi. And then a couple more matches on the opener. And then the New Beginning show on the 2nd of February. The main event, like I mentioned, will be Okada versus Taichi. Co-main event, Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Heavyweight title. That's going to be awesome. I think Ospreay might win.
Yeah, it's very likely.
Ospreay is the man. And then Naito, Sanada, and Hiromu taking on Taiji Ishimori, Jay White, and Kenta. Bullet Club versus Ingobernables. And then an 8-man tag featuring Jon Moxley. It'll be Moxley teaming up with Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, and Ryusuke Taguchi. Oh, man, that's a sick team. Taking on Minoru Suzuki, El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and Doki, representing Suzuki-gun in a special 8-man tag. What?
Well, Moxley's doing a lot of New Japan.
Moxley's wrestling big time on this tour. Then it'll be Goto, Ishii, and Eagles taking on Bushi, Evil, and Takagi. Let's see, what else is on this tour? What else is Moxley doing on this tour? On February the 4th, Jon Moxley will be... is he going to wrestle?
Well, the fact that he wrestled twice.
No, he's not wrestling on February 4th. I guess he's flying back to... because he's got to make Dynamite at Huntsville, Alabama. So he'll wrestle on Saturday and Sunday in Japan and then leave, I guess, on the Monday or Tuesday to make it back to the States for Wednesday in Alabama.
Makes sense.
It's a hell of a road there for Jon Moxley.
Oh, that's what he wants, though. It's good.
I love it. It's a great weekend for Jon Moxley. Tag teaming with Okada and then teaming up with Roppongi 3K and Taguchi. It's going to be crazy. I wonder if Moxley will do the running thing that Taguchi does. I don't know if you know. He's the coach. He does a thing where he sends everybody from one corner to the other to do a clothesline on a guy.
Okay.
Many members of his team just in a circle, so they're just constantly going at him. And Taguchi just is directing traffic. It's a great spot. Great spot. The coach with Jon Moxley, not Jonathan Coachman. The good one, Taguchi.
Moxley's also scheduled to wrestle, I think, Ortiz, on Dynamite this week.
Whoa. Busy.
Very busy.
2 matches in New Japan on the weekend, and then back to Huntsville, Alabama to wrestle one half of Proud and Powerful.
I think the match in Dynamite will be a lot easier, though, than the Japanese matches.
Probably. Man, he's wrestling Minoru Suzuki and Taichi. That match with Okada, teaming with Okada? Man, he's teaming with Okada. That's a cool tag team.
It's very cool.
I like it. All right, John. Your last match, what happened?
I lost.
Oh, fuck. I told you, man. You lose, you're off the show.
But I'm still here. You know, you still like me.
I know.
So it's all right.
I know. I'm not going to kick you off the show. I didn't mean it.
It was great that AJ was there. It was fantastic.
Oh, AJ was there.
Yeah. He brought this kid, made a Wish Foundation kind of thing. It was very nice.
He made a wish?
Well, because the kid wanted to see me, so he's a big fan of me. So.
Oh, wow. AJ's doing community work?
I think so. He's a great guy.
Court appointed?
I don't know if it was court appointed, but it was nice. We had a great moment there. Took a couple photos for the kid. He liked it.
AJ says you won and they cheated again.
Well, what happened was, like, this was like legit. Someone broke their nose, like the match prior.
Wow.
So they had to wash down the ring, like scrub it down to get all the blood out. So the ring was kind of like slippery and it was kind of rough to walk around. So when I was going for my finish, I kind of slipped a bit and then he was able to roll me up because the ring was wet. So I do think that there was them cheating to make sure I'd lose. So yeah.
Yeah, so they cheated because, of course, whose promotion is this?
Exactly.
Drew Onyx.
Exactly.
And whose buddy is Don Boulanger? Drew Onyx. And who are you wrestling in your next match in that promotion? You're teaming up with the guy Bjorn. Bjork?
Right. Bjork.
Bjork?
Yeah. Bjorn is, you're thinking the show Vikings.
Well, Bjork is like the singer from Iceland.
Oh, maybe he is, but he's also my partner.
You don't know Bjork? Bro, seriously, you don't know who Bjork is? I'm going to show you who Bjork is. It's not your tag team partner, dude.
Well, the spelling's exactly the same.
Dude. This is Bjork, man. You know, Bjork. The singer Bjork. You don't know who I'm talking about? AJ knows Bjork, man. AJ loves Bjork. That's Bjork. I don't know why your tag team partner's name is Bjork, because as far as I'm concerned, that lady from Iceland is Bjork.
She looks really different compared to my partner, that's for sure.
Yeah, the guy kind of looks like a Viking Raider, your partner.
A little bit, yeah.
He looks like Eric from the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, Eric, not Ivar.
Not Ivar. Eric. Yeah.
But it's good. We're both pale, so I think we work well together.
Yeah, you make a good tag team because you're both white guys.
People were chanting Casper during the match.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're both quite pale?
Yeah.
Oh. That's a weird one.
It is kind of weird. Fans are weird. But it's fine. Whatever. They react.
AJ's calling him Bjorg.
Bjorg?
I don't know if you know the name of your tag team partner. Are you sure it's Bjork with a K?
I've always called him that. He acknowledges it. Like, it's with a K.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought Bjorn or Bjorg even would be better than Bjork, because Bjork is like the lady singer from Iceland. You know, she's got those weird songs. You never heard Bjork?
No, never heard that, no.
Well, I can't play music for you now, but after the show, I'll play you some Bjork music. You won't like it.
Okay.
I promise, you won't like it. Let's see. Maybe I could get this going. I'm telling you, man, Bjork. You don't know about Bjork, bro?
No, I don't listen to Viking music.
AJ, you know about Bjork? She's not a Viking, man. She's Icelandic. Were they Vikings? What's a famous Bjork song? What's like a big, I don't know. Does she have like a big song?
A song would be fine.
Let's see here. Oh. Yeah, Bjork. Oh, yeah. Is this one? Johnny, you like this shit?
Not so much.
I don't think my... Yeah, it's like weirdo music. You like that shit, Johnny? Da 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 Bjork. Da, 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 da. It's not bad, actually. Yo, your partner should come out to this music. This is awesome.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to come out to that.
Come on, man. Bjork. That's your tag team partner, brother. She's from Iceland. All right, that's
Well,
it. That's
she's-
Dave and Johnny live. We love you, Bjork. Show's over. We're gonna dance out of this show. John,
You can dance.
you got
I'm not-
anything? You
I'm
got
not
anything
gonna
else?
dance.
Got anything else to say? Say. What do you got? Bjork.
I got a show tonight, actually. Main Event Wrestling.
Okay. You got a show tonight?
Well, I'll be appearing. I won't be wrestling.
What do you mean?
I'll just be appearing at the show at the Astral. Downtown. It's near Place des Arts on St. Catherine.
Oh. Antoinette never heard of Bjork. Well, what's going on? How come people never heard of Bjork? Bjork is the best.
It's okay. You have obscure,
She's
likes.
not
That's-
obscure. She's very famous. Bjork, man. She wore that duck dress to the Oscars. You know what I'm talking about? The Bjork. Was it a duck? Yeah, it's a duck dress. It was very famous at the time. What year was this in, man? Bjork duck dress. Swan dress. 2001. You don't know what I'm talking about?
I'm not a big Oscar watcher, so no.
Dude, this was like everywhere. The Bjork dress. No one knows what I'm talking about? This like weirdo dress she wore? Bjork, man. Bjork. All right, that's it. That's Dave and Johnny live. Thanks, everybody. Go to ringsidereport.net. Bjork forever. See ya.